Good morning, seniors. Welcome back. I hope you had a nice long weekend and that you're looking forward to getting started, hopefully back at school. We don't actually have any more information yet because this is just our first day back today as well. We didn't have in-service day yesterday, so we haven't got any more information about senior pupils coming back into school for practical subjects as yet. But I'm hoping by the end of today or tomorrow we will have had a meeting. Well, we definitely will have had a meeting today, but we'll hopefully be able to share with you what the plans are for next week. But for today, S5 and 6, you are doing your written period, okay? And I want to briefly go back to Peter Howson because I think you're coping really well with the optional questions. I think you are managing to comment, locate, justify really well. And it's just a case of practice now, just looking at an image and saying, right, if I had to talk about that, what would I say about the colours? Oh yeah, I could say this, this and that. If I had to talk about that random piece of artwork that I've just seen go past on the side of a bus, what would I say about the shapes that are used in there? Or what would I say about the composition when I just saw that that painting in the front of a magazine, or, well, it wouldn't be on the front of a magazine, I suppose. But yeah, do you know, just looking at an image that you just happen to randomly see, because the chances are these optional questions, you'll have never seen the paintings or sculptures before. So it's just a case of looking at something and practicing. Okay, but for today, as I said, I want to go back to Peter Howson, and it's the influence section I want to just revise, okay? Because we know you're going to get asked about Peter Howson, you know you're going to get asked about influences. It is the guaranteed marks that you can get there. You should be getting 4 marks for that bit, okay? Because it takes the pressure off the other prompts, because you don't know what those other prompts are going to be yet, whether it's going to be working methods or materials and techniques. We don't know what those are, but you do know you're going to get asked about influences. So you should be getting 4 marks there, okay? Right, so what I want to do, instead of just writing notes upon notes about Peter Howson's influences, I want to do an image-based revision technique, okay? This is when you look at a painting, when you look at your revision notes, you can instantly see what that revision note is telling you, okay? Now, this works because if you think of when you're going to start to learn to drive, right? You have to look at a road sign and instantly be able to say, oh, that means you're not allowed to park here, or that means you have to give way. An image is really, really powerful, as you know. So an image should be instantly recognisable, and this image that you're going to create, your revision images, should be instantly recognisable and helping you decide and helping you remember parts about Howson's influences. Okay, so on my computer, I've got, let me try and find it, amidst the chaos of my house. So the 2 images that your class are doing, because Tiana's doing End of the Road, and if I go back just 2 slides, it's got my influences. So artistic influences are Cubism, Surrealism, Renaissance and the New Glasgow Boys. Other influences are religion, Bosnia war artists, excuse me, growing up in Ayrshire, because there was a lot of sectorial issues there, drug and alcohol abuse, Asperger's syndrome, and also that Howson was a soldier in the army after leaving art college. Okay, so these are all influences. What I want you to do, move my camera back, is, where am I? I need to get a better way of being able to share what I'm drawing. Here we go. What I want you to do is draw your revision technique. Okay, so think about what one are we going to do. So he was a soldier in the Bosnian War, right? So Bosnia War. Oh, so no, he was a war artist. No, I don't want to do that one just now. I'll do the soldier one first. Soldier after art college, okay? So I don't even need that. I could just put soldier as my title. You want to use a minimum of 3 words. So he was a soldier in the war. Let's just draw a wee soldier guy here. This is his helmet. Okay, now they're just cartoons. They're just stickmen if you want. It doesn't need to be proper drawing. Okay, it's just an image that's going to help you remember. So here's my soldier. There's his neck. His body. His trousers. And they have big boots. And trying to, what would signify a soldier? If I had coloured pencils, I would do is wee camouflage outfit, which would help you recognise that instantly. So with big boots, they usually have like a big backpack on. This guy's going to be carrying some sort of rifle or gun. Very rarely ever drawn a gun in my life, so I have no idea what it should look like. They've got like a wee viewfinder or something up there. So yeah, so this is my soldier, okay. Sometimes they have their wee flag on, what country they're from, so the baddies don't get them if they're from the same country. There's his backpack, and his pockets, whatever. Right, there's my soldier. Okay, right, so when I look at that image now, I can say, right, okay, he is a soldier in the war. Okay, how has that influenced his work? So let's go back to the painting. I'm going to draw in my painting. So what's my guy? Brother Wilfred's in the middle. He's got his wee tabard thing on. He's got quite broad shoulders, doesn't he, Brother Wilfred? So Brother Wilfred was a soldier in the war. How has that influenced this painting? Because all these people that are kind of around Brother Wilfred down here, all these people that are sad and hurt, they look like they're all reaching out to him as well, aren't they? All reaching up. And they look quite poorly, they look quite sick, so they're all reaching over to him. Help me. Okay, all these people that are in distress. So we could say, and they're all reaching up, help, help, help. Okay, so here's, when I look at that image, I can say, right, my influence on his work is that he was a soldier when he left art college. So there's the soldier image. How do we see this in his work? So how, locate it. Okay, how do we see that? Well, I can see it with all these little waifs and strays at the bottom. They look like they could be victims. Okay, they're, let's make him a bit sadder. Okay, they could be victims, people that have been hurt in the war that he witnessed when he was a soldier. Okay, so my simple image that I want to look at and instantly recognise the influence is, I've got a title there, so I can have a title. He was a soldier at the war. How do we see this coming through in his work? In this piece, we see this coming through here. Here's my locating. Okay, my comment, my locate. Here's my locating. I can see it in the waifs and strays that surround Brother Wilfred. He's got his wee crucifix on. Because they look like they have been hurt or damaged or are in distress, just like the people that he would have witnessed, the casualties from war when he was a soldier. Okay, right, I did another one for you already, just so that I can try not to go on and on and on and on. Okay, so here is my surrealist influence. So I've got my title, Surrealists. Okay, so what were the surrealists? The surrealists produced artwork that was quite dreamlike. So this is my wee guy in his bed. Again, it's just cartoonish, okay, as long as you recognise what it's supposed to be. And this is his dream, and that's meant to be Dali's, you know, the melted clocks on the tree. So that's to help me remember that surrealists produced artwork that was quite dreamlike. Okay, where do we see that in the work? Locate it. Here's my huge arrow. I locate it by these waifs and strays that surround Brother Wilfred, because they look a bit like nightmare creatures. They don't look like realistic people. They're very cartoonishly drawn. They're very sketchily drawn. They look a bit like, yeah, just like nightmare characters. And then I've got this kind of emoji type of scream, to help me remember that they look like they're in a nightmare, to help me link back to the surrealists, which produced dreamlike qualities. Okay, so what I want you to do today is produce at least 4 of these. Okay, you should be getting 4 pieces, you should be getting 4 marks, sorry, for this section on the paper. Okay, so 4 marks, 4 influences, and draw them out like that. I just do that on paper, but they're quite flimsy. So try and find some card if you can. I think it's better. I've just got like a tea box here, not a tea bag box, sorry. And yeah, it's not an empty carton, but it's not going to kill my family if like I take that out and leave that in the cupboard, you know. So I can leave that, and then I can cut this up. Where am I on the camera? Then I can cut that up, see? And then use that for the back of that for my images. Because then it's easier to flick through rather than trying to flick through like papers like this. I think it's better on card. But just use what you can, okay? Obviously, you've just got to use what's accessible to you at home. But yeah, that's what I want you to do. Images that are instantly recognisable, that will instantly help you remember the 4 influences that you're going to write about in order for you to achieve 4 marks. Okay, voila, cool. Right, work hard. Let me see these images, please, at the end. Thank you. Bye, bye, bye.